Before I get started, everyone should have a blank business card and a pen in front of them. I want you to write something down for me. It's not going to be collected, this is going to be for you to keep. I want you to write down one personal, just out of your reach goal. Something that maybe you think isn't attainable for you. Something that you've wanted or needed to commit to, but just haven't for some reason. It could be to climb Mount Everest, or to lose 50 pounds. Maybe it's to go back to school, or quit your job, and start your own business. You write that down. And I want you to take that piece of paper, and you have your wallet. I like for you to put it in your wallet, or just put it in your pocket. All right. I'll get back to that in a little bit. Today I'm going to talk to you all about my just out of your reach goal. A challenge that I set for myself September 9th of last year when I signed up for an ultramarathon. You know, I had signed up for it kind of on a whim. I don't really consider myself a runner. I'd actually just stumbled upon the sport a little over 2 years ago when I signed up for my first marathon. Bucket list item, if you will. I felt like it was an achievable goal though. Something that I could accomplish if I tried. Still really hard. I remember being downtown Memphis on the bluffs, my first training run for the marathon, 3-mile run, running, and thinking, I can barely run 3 miles. How am I going to run 26.2? And I remember in that moment, I put myself in check, and I thought, one step at a time, one day at a time, 1 week at a time. Fast forward, and I actually finished that race. And I finished another marathon the following spring. But then I got bored. I needed a new challenge. Not just any challenge this time. I wanted something that really shook me. Something just beyond my reach. And so I started watching documentaries and reading books on ultramarathon runners. I remember thinking, these people are crazy, insane, not human. They would run 50Ks, 100Ks, 100 miles, just over 200 miles. Literally, crazy. But it got my wheels turning. I thought, I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if I could run a 50K. That's just over 5 miles of a marathon distance. So I started researching different ultramarathons in the US. The Zion Ultramarathon around Zion National Park in southern Utah kept catching my eye. And I remember being back home September 9th in Oklahoma with my best friend, Ashley. We were outside on the porch drinking a beer. I had my phone in my hand on the registration page for the Zion Ultra. And just as I was about to register for the 50K, I scrolled down and I registered for the 100K. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was facing failure in the eyes in a way I had never done before. Something that was just beyond my reach. At the time of registering, I felt this feeling of exhilaration. But at the same time, I felt really, really vulnerable, scared. Because when I commit to something, I really commit. And I was scared of failing. I had just signed up for a race that was 63.5 miles long. A little over 100K distance. That was going to be on a trail, on desert terrain, at 3,500 feet elevation, where runners would face 8,000 feet in elevation gain and 8,000 feet elevation loss. I spent 7 months training for the race. I had my good days, and I had my bad days. I had a lot of bad days. I had 20, 30, 40-mile training runs on the weekend. A lot of times, I just wanted to throw in the towel and quit. The training in and of itself was a physical and an emotional roller coaster. I had 3 goals for race day. Pretty simple goals. Don't get hurt, don't get lost, and finish. Totally fine with finishing dead last. Just wanted to finish in the 21 and a half hours that we had to finish the race. I remember the morning of the race, just before 6 a.m., starting line, about to face failure, one-on-one. Kind of looking around at all the other runners and thinking, what am I doing here? And then I remember thinking, I really hope I don't let anyone down from back home. And as an added, unexpected challenge for the day, it was raining, and that rain eventually turned to snow at the top of the first mesa that I would climb that morning. So I had a curveball, a few curveballs that day. I had 3 outcomes to the goals I had set for myself. 1, didn't get hurt. Incredibly sore and tired, but I didn't get hurt. 2, I ran 65 and a half miles. So if you do the math, I got lost. Took a wrong turn about 12:40 a.m., close to the finish line. I remember when I realized I got lost, I was pissed. I could not process my emotions. I was so upset. Curveball. But I got through it, and I finished in 19 hours and 7 minutes at 1:07 in the morning. I did it. I ran 100K, just over 100K, but I did it. Me, Jessica Wicks. I accomplished something that I thought was crazy, that I thought was just out of my reach. Three key takeaways for that experience, the training and the run itself, I'd like to share with you all. It's really important for me to share it. 1, I can literally do anything if I mentally commit to accomplishing a goal. And as cheesy as it sounds, I believe, and I know, everyone in this room is capable of that as well. If you just mentally commit and you take the first step. 2, life will always throw curveballs at your perfect plan. Like it did for me during the race. The rain, the snow, the missed turn, and all the other obstacles that I faced that day. And while life will always throw curveballs, as humans, we're generally pretty good at coming up with excuses or reasons not to execute. And your friends and people that you love will pat you on the back and say, don't worry about it, you tried. That rain, yeah, that was way too hard. I understand why you didn't run that 100K, why you didn't finish. Next time you're almost coming up with that excuse for yourself, I want you to try to execute anyways. Try to execute despite the curveball. Because if anything, it makes you a badass. And 3, never go about trying to accomplish great things in life alone. I would not have been able to do what I did that day without the support of my family, my friends, my U.S. marketing teammates, Slack messages I got that day, and even strangers on the trail. Surround yourself with good people that love and support you, and you can literally do anything. Whenever I think about all the challenges that I've set for myself in life, whether I accomplished them or failed at them, I realize that those past failures and accomplishments have really set me up. They have enabled me to reach even further, to set even higher just beyond your reach goals. And I have never looked back and thought, man, I really wish I didn't set that goal. I wish I didn't accomplish running that 100K. I've never done that. I have, however, looked back and thought, I wish I would have tried. Or I wish I would have tried sooner. So my hope for you all today is that when you get home, take that piece of paper out of your pocket. You'll be at the grocery store checkout line and pull out your wallet, see it tucked behind your credit card. And you'll think, I wonder, when is a convenient time for me to reach for my just beyond your reach goal, my challenge that matters to me? And in that moment, and this is important, you need to realize that there is probably never a convenient time. But the best time is now. Thank you.